was Senior Project Officer on the Outdoor Kitchen project at the HIVE. So the reason why this project was established is because we had a project which had previously been funded by the Lottery Local Food Fund, and basically that was to establish a food growing site called the HIVE. And we did that for 2 years, and what we discovered is on that site we were teaching people how to plant, grow and harvest fresh produce. But then what we quickly came to realise is that one, people wanted to duplicate what we were doing at the HIVE in the gardens within their own communities. And then the other thing that happened is that people were telling us that as well as growing fresh produce, they also wanted to learn to cook with it. So this was the reason why we decided it was important to establish the outdoor cooking project, because a lot of people were growing but didn't actually know what to do with the fresh produce that they had, and they were actually giving it away rather than cooking with it, and it was just a real shame.
The project came about for a few different reasons really. One of them was because there was a need for the project in the Bolton area. There was a problem with obesity, with 1 in 3 adults being above a healthy weight, and there was also lots and lots of people, high percentages of people using food banks within the Bolton area. Also what we were finding at the HIVE was that people were coming and visiting the HIVE, and yet they didn't know what to do with the fresh vegetables. So all of those things put together, we felt like there was a need for the project to start.
And then what happened is people came up from different organisations, absolutely loved the site, and we developed a training programme for staff from other organisations, so like mental health teams, community centres. They would learn the skills and then transfer them back on to their service users and clients, and it worked really, really well. But it was always that element of, you know, the actual cooking that was missing, and that was something that we were asked for predominantly through the 2 years prior to this project getting established, and that's why we went on to do that.
So the outdoor kitchen took place at the HIVE in Bolton, which was an outdoor food growing site. On there we had four different cooking areas, which consisted of a barbecue area, an outdoor cob oven, 2 fire pits, and we also used a Dutch oven as well.
I think the project, because it was done outside and it was all done with homegrown food, I think it was definitely brilliant for health. And just taste, I think people are saying, oh, my soup doesn't taste like that, or my stir fry doesn't taste like that. And the fact that it was fresh grown on site was a big plus for health reasons, and the fact that they realised, or I realised, you don't have to have meat with every meal. You know, you can do a vegetable curry or a vegetable lasagna, and it was all that really. Simple things which, you know, most people might think every day, but when I was chatting with people, they were saying, oh gosh, I'll try this, I've never done this.
So the types of groups we wanted to reach with the outdoor cooking project were people who we researched and found were in kind of groups that weren't eating a good standard of diet, which led on to issues like obesity, and also people who were living in food poverty. So they were our 2 big target groups. And from looking at joint strategic needs assessments provided by the local authority and the NHS, we predominantly found that the groups we should be targeting were parents of preschool children, were males, adult males, and then also the long-term unemployed. And the reason for this is because with parents of preschool children, it's been found through research that if you teach parents to cook with good quality fresh produce for their children rather than processed food, this is something that will then follow on through that child's childhood. And then with adult males, there was high incidences of type 2 diabetes and obesity. So again, in heart disease as well came up predominantly in Bolton. And then also with long-term unemployed, both males and female. These are the client group really that predominantly live in food poverty, and that's because they have to try and eat on a restricted budget. And as a result of that, they do live in food poverty, so this is the reason why we targeted these 3 groups.
We all sat around a campfire, which had been pre-prepared, and so had some of the vegetables and ingredients had been pre-prepared, and basically it ran extremely well. It was a very new experience and a different experience to many of our members.
The project was really good because a lot of the people who came on it hadn't got any idea how to do outdoor cooking really. They're used to cooking at home in the kitchen and stuff like that. But some of them were like amazed at how we could just make anything really outside. And the fact that we went and picked what we were cooking was even better. It was like a plus for that.
The self-awareness and the confidence of the members was improved by being part of these sessions of outdoor cookery. I think it gave them an awareness of ecotherapy. One of the problems that we face with people with the conditions that they have who attend here is that there's a danger of isolation within the community. If they don't come here, where do they go? They may stop at home and drink or whatever. Not necessarily, but that we're concerned about isolation within the community or within their own homes. So all these experiences which introduce them to outdoor activities are extremely beneficial.
I know after that we started a family club on the HIVE with local people from the estate. And what we did is at first we sort of did the cooking, the people who'd been on the course, and we did, and then families were saying, can I have a go at that this week? So they were coming along and doing the cooking, and it was great because we were able to say to them, you don't have to go spend a lot of money, don't be using a lot of your money, just do something we can all share and eat. And so it was brilliant from that perspective.
So when people come in, they're not only being infused by what we're growing, they're learning new things like what's a walking onion. Things that we grow in the polytunnel, we'll have a cooking day and we'll say to the volunteers, or we say to the public that come on, go and dig your own potatoes so they know that they're fresh. And the children just run round so excited when they see the potatoes coming from the ground. And then they bring them back to us and we wash them, chop them up, throw them all in a pan. So we've got potatoes, onions, cabbage, kohlrabi, whatever we can find, and then we throw some smoky bacon in, and it's absolutely delicious.
I think there was also the element of knowing where food comes from, experimenting with recipes perhaps or ideas that they wouldn't have done otherwise if they hadn't been introduced to it. A greater sense of healthy eating.
The project definitely helped me directly as a person, because I wouldn't say I was a healthy eater, but now I'm like a health freak. I hate buying tin food. I won't buy anything in tins. So I've got to grow everything I'm eating, and I've got to see where it's come from now.
The people are actually very surprised at what they can grow at home themselves, because some of them, they don't have any growing experience, but we just say just try it, trial and error. So they're actually amazed that they're actually able to grow and then go straight from the ground straight into the pan, and they can tell the difference. They're loving it.
The sort of inventiveness that Lancashire Wildlife Trust bring along to these sessions helps make it more interesting. We started with the Wildlife Trust in just planting seedlings and transferring seeds to pots. So it was part of a well-structured process that sort of peaked with the actual harvesting, I suppose, and cooking of produce. So it went from the basics or the beginnings to a meaningful and a positive end.
One of the things that stands out in my mind is that everybody that came to take part in cooking courses had a really great time. They really enjoyed it. You know, it was quite a different thing to do, so it wasn't where they were just learning to cook meals in your average everyday kitchen. You know, they were actually doing it in a really beautiful environment with the trees around them. You know, we were actually picking the produce from fresh. You know, you could hear the birds singing as well. And I think people, you know, it made people kind of feel good about themselves as well. You know, they were kind of getting exercise at the same time as cooking the meals.
I think what stuck out to me most on the project was, I mean, I'm not very old, but I realised that you're not too old to learn stuff. I thought I knew everything. You think you know everything, don't you? And I think the people that were on the project, it was the fact that we can make meals for not too much money, and I think that was the thing. You know, if we haven't got money and if we're going through a recession, there's always something we can do.
I think what really surprised me is the power of food and bringing people together and what that can do, and how it can break down barriers between communities.
One thing that stands out in my mind from the cooking project, we joined in on an open day that they was having in Bolton, and we took the soup over, and people were just saying they couldn't get the flavour. Why does this soup taste so good? But we had to explain, because all the vegetables are homegrown, they've never flown, grown and never flown.
I think it has been a bit of a different project for the Wildlife Trust, because we have had some involvement in allotments before, but we've never actually done anything that's involved the cooking side of it. And I have actually seen that spread a little bit within other projects and other offices, with officers within our office. I've noticed they've been doing a little bit more of the cooking. You know, they might have done bits of bread and things like that on an open fire before, but I've actually seen them, you know, actually cooking, you know, a proper meal on an open fire.
And I think what we've got to remember is people have been growing for thousands of years. It's not rocket science. You know, it's actually going into a supermarket that isn't natural. and what should come natural to us as human beings is to use green space around us and not only provide food but provide habitats for wildlife while we're doing that.